What's good, YouTube? Team YGOLab here with
Brandon Weathersby. What's up?
And what'd you do today?
I got top 4 at the Philly Regional.
And how many people were at that regional?
Right under 5, it's like 4 and some change. Yeah.
It's not too much for a Philly regional. What'd you play today?
I played Pure Gouki. No dangers, none of the other stuff, just Pure Gouki.
So with everything, like with the FTK and like, Warriors running around, why'd you decide to play Pure?
So I think the decks that have danger and stuff like that in there, they have a higher ceiling and they can do a lot of crazy things. But I wanted something that would just be consistent throughout the entire day, which is also why I think I did so well. Also later in the rounds, a lot of the top tables were Pure Gouki. Like a lot of them, because it was just more consistent. I think those decks are just really good, but a lot of people are signing so many hand traps to stop themselves from getting FTK'd. You're probably just not going to get there a lot of the times.
How often would you say you like drew the optimal hand?
I mean, I always, for the most part, I always drew hands I could play, with the exception of like round. I think it was like round 4 when I played Joe Bogley, where I just had to set Call with the Grave, but that was just so happened to be enough to keep me alive and win the game. So.
Yeah, vampires are weird. So
yeah.
All right, let's get into deck profile.
All right, so one bear hug. This was every time. So my only loss was I won the die roll and I drew this. So whenever you just draw bear hug with no other ways to play, it sucks, but you need it because it's a name, and he randomly comes up. So 1 Scorpio. 3 Supix, obviously, and then I just play 2 of everything else because you just need the names. So that's it for the Gokis. Rest of the Warriors, just 2 junk forward. 3's too much. Just want to open it. So
how often do you see it?
Pretty often. I open it a couple of times, and then you always can like rotor for it and stuff. If you don't open with it, it's not that big of a deal though. A lot of times, if you're gonna rotor for something, it's probably gonna be Dolphin, so you can make sure they don't have anything else to play. And then I play like a semi-Armageddon, I guess. I did play 1 Armageddon Knight. I didn't play like the dangers and stuff. I literally just played Armageddon Knight just so I could turbo through 2 Mally and the 1 Boots that I played.
How's Boots?
Boots is really, really good. So Boots, while it's engraved, you can banish it and any card that has Phantom Knight in the name. It also has a crazy interaction where if you hard draw the trap in this, you can flip the trap, summon it, and then because you control the Phantom Knight monster, you can summon this from your hand. And it's immediate combo without actually knowing something.
That's really funny.
Yeah. And then later on in the combo, you can banish this to get the second trap, so you can trap them on their turn to gumble the rest of their hand apart. 1 Dolphin. Yes. This card is good. Yeah, one Dolphin. So, me and John were testing the deck, and I was talking about how we should definitely be playing Gouki with Dolphin in your deck. It's just incorrect to blindly gumble your opponent, because if they're playing BAs or Danger or anything that have grave effects, you're going to get annihilated. So you need to just be able to see their hand. And there's a whole bunch of crazy combos you can do that if you hard draw this, you will rip 4 cards out of their hand going first, and then rip the last 2 cards out of their hand going second.
How often did you draw it?
Early game, I only drew it like twice, but later rounds I kept drawing it, so it was really, really good.
Sexy ultimate, by the way.
Thanks, Jared. Yes, yeah. Shit. And then 1 Ibli. This card is, everybody says it sucks to draw. It's kind of weird, like when you draw, but there's a lot of ways you can just play through it. Also, one of the combos is if you draw, you give it to them with Summon Sorcerers, and then shuffle it back into your deck with Unicorn to draw a card, then make the second mate to summon it from your deck and get a draw an additional card.
So would you say you played the deck more with the concept of cycling through your cards rather than just like posting big boards?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to like optimize all my cards and then like just make sure that basically, I mean, honestly, what we were trying to do is try to abuse this as many times as possible and then gumble them for what was left over. That was basically what we were trying to do. I just didn't want to play 2 of this because you didn't want to draw 2 and have to like pitch it. It was just awful. And that's it for the monsters. I believe it's just 20 monsters. For the spells, 3 instant fusion, 3 midfield, 3 twin twister. I didn't side very much for Star Striker, so I felt like it would be just incorrect not to have something in your deck to like play against that deck and also guys going second. And then if I drew it going first, then I probably could just combo and just use it. There was a game today that drawing Twin Twister won me the game because I had to activate Midfield Breaker, Twin Twister my own Midfield Breaker, discard my Mally to kill them. But like I won the game, so it was fine.
How hard do you think it is for this deck going second?
It's actually not that bad. I think the problem is like what I kept seeing people do is they would have the deck and they would be focused on trying to gumble their opponent going second. Like don't try to gumble them, just try to kill them. And I think if you just try to do that, you should be fine. You also just have to know how to like play around cards. Just I don't know. Spice card, 2 double summon. This card was actually just incredible. So this card just has like a lot of like random applications, and this is honestly probably the reason that I top 8'd today. There was a lot of like, there was a couple hands where, not a couple, but there's like 1 hand where I had to normal summon my Ibli, then double summon for Bear Hug, so that I can activate the trap from my hand to combo them. But it worked, they didn't have a hand trap, and I won the game, and I ended up top 4 because of that. So this card was really good. You can also abuse Ibli, where you can do the Firewall combo, add Ibli back to your hand instead of specialing it off a Firewall. You just normal summon it with double summon, then it'll get its effect to add an extra monster, summon an extra monster, and you just keep going. So double summon was just really, really good. Obviously, 2 Call of the Grave. You have to play that card. I wish you could play 3 of that card, honestly. 2 Rematch. You need it for the grind games. I didn't really grind too much. The game's, for the most part, over pretty quickly. But you still need to have the second one in your deck in case the first one, you have to use it to break apart their back row. You have this one to still combo them. Then just this deck basically plays all the best one-ups in Yu-Gi-Oh! From here on out. So 1 Rhoda, 1 for 1, Foolish, Reborn, Super Reborn, and then the equip spells that you gotta play. Thanks. And then the last traps that I just played were 2 of this. So this is like one of the biggest differences between like my deck, I guess, and John's deck. Originally we were playing this and Fogblade, but then I just discovered that Fogblade's good, but that implies that you're going into the law game, you're using that to negate your monster effect, and it's gone farther than you should have gone. So I'd rather just have something that's more consistent that always lets me combo. I don't think I ever missed it today, but I didn't play some of the matchups that he played where it would have been just advantageous to have it. So.
What's the main deck total?
45.
And what were your matchups today?
I played 2 Thunder, 2 BA Danger, 1 Mirror match, which is what my loss was. I believe I played the FTK, but he just couldn't FTK me. And then I think my last matchup, was out to guys, yeah.
And then, do you think there's any matchup that's particularly difficult for you among others?
I mean, just the mirror. Is basically draw a hand trap and lose. And it has to be the right hand trap. Like Ash, you're going to get chain blocked, so it doesn't matter. Draw isn't really that good unless their hand is fragile enough where they have to summon, or they have to search just to get started. But if they can like start playing and then you draw them after they search 3 cards, it just doesn't matter. Like my opponent drawed me after I searched 3 cards. I dolphined him twice and gumbled him for his last 2 cards, burned him for 3,000, and you boarded him total to go out of draw. So it just doesn't matter a lot of the times. That's like your worst matchup is the mirror.
I got you. Let's go to the side.
Side deck was triple cherries. I didn't want to side this, but you have to respect the mirror.
Did you ever side it in?
Yeah, I sided in a lot. I didn't draw it, but I did draw the rest of my hand trap, so it actually kind of worked out. Triple Ogre, this card was really, really good. Ogre and Summer Sources was like really, really good all day. I did that quite a bit, so it was really powerful. Probably MVP of my side though was the Drone Lock Bird. I only sided 2. Shout out to John. John was definitely saying, hey, we should probably only side 2 Drolls. And it was just really, really, really good. Also, even going second, I would leave it in my deck against like the Danger deck. So in case they like hand trap me and I couldn't play it, I would have Droll to stop them from playing.
You mean second?
I'm going first. Yeah, going first. Yeah, I would leave it in at worst. It's a level 1 monster,
yeah,
so you can
Link
use
Rebuff.
it for Link Rebuff. Exactly. Yeah, so it's like not the worst thing. Spice card.
What the hell is that?
1 Super Agent. Yeah. So this is one of the guys back from Virginia. His name's Daniel. He was doing Super Agent, and I was like, oh, this is kind of a cute idea. He's not going super hard where he's playing like the field spell to search and all this other stuff, but I thought just one of this would be really, really good. As you'll see later on in the side deck, I'm not siding Hatronade. I just didn't respect the Pure Striker deck enough to side that card, but I didn't want to lose the cards like River and Gozen, so this outs those cards, while also allowing you to still be able to play. You can also search with Rhoda, and you can also search it off with the Noble Knight guy.
Did you see it?
Yeah, there was a lot of games where if I sided in and I did draw it, I would just do it, search it off of the Noble Knight guy, so in case my combo for some reason didn't go through, I would have a follow-up for next turn.
What was the classic reaction when they saw that card?
It was broken. Yeah, it was really, really,
Were
really
they all
good.
shocked? Or?
Yeah, I mean, this was really good against when I played Joe Bogan because he had like the field spell, he had Zombie World up, Unizombie, and like an impermanent set. And I go this call Monster, target the impermanence, he has to chain it right there. Then I just normal summon Super X and Monster and combo them.
Okay.
Yeah. 3 Book of Eclipse. This card was MVP. This card was so good. It's just really, really good. You can even going first. This card isn't bad because if you're gonna do the whole extra deck Gumbler combo, all your cards are links. They can't go face down. So this literally just stops your opponent. And this is how I made it to top 4. My opponent summoned Ibly. He took my Ibly, tried to swing with it. I booked it, so he had to keep it. And then his last card was Seconds Light, so he drew 2 cards. He drew a Danger, revealed the Danger, pitched it, summoned, and then I booked him again because I had 2 set. He's like, yeah, you got it. And that's just how it won.
So what'd you play in the final round?
I played the VA Danger deck.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then the last card that I sided was 3 Reboots. This card was pretty ignorant. I played against Altergeist and I opened 2 of it. So he lost. I rebooted him once, set all this stuff, and then I set... I'm sorry, not Altergeist, what I played. I played Paleo. Sorry. Yeah.
Got you.
I rebooted him once, and then I set the second reboot. And then I rebooted him again, and he lost. And then it was just crazy. So that's the side, 15.
Anything you change on the side?
Anything I would change in the side? No, I think the side deck was pretty spot on. I guess this could be something else for other people if they don't want to play this card. I just really thought it was good. I think it's pretty spot on. Unless like the format changes, I don't think not too much is going to change.
All right, let's go to the extra.
All right, extra's pretty standard. 1 Raijin, Link Karibo, 2 Mermaid because you do the combo with double Mermaid all the time. Underclock tanker, you need this. I was going back and forth between this and Ningirsu, but somebody told me a good point where, like, if they cherries or ISO, you can still summon sorcerers with this and Link Karibo because they're both services, and then like randomly comes up. Plus, you can kill people with this and Tri-Gate most of the time in this game. So, one ISO because you never need the second one binary, 2 Cerberus because I don't know why people play double Phoenix, but 2 Cerberus is just definitely better because it makes it where your cards can't be destroyed by card effects. And if you have double Mermaid, their stuff loses 2,000. Not running over anything anyway.
There's so many times where I wish I had that, so I definitely agree.
Yeah, Unicorn is really, really good. Obviously, Tri-Gate, Summon Sorcerers, the card that probably should be banned, and this card.
Gumbo's bad, right?
Yeah, this card is just ridiculous. Yeah, and everybody, like, when they play the deck, they're so worried about, oh, well, what if they have dangers? Well, that's why you play Dolphin. Like, you rip all the cards out of their hand and leave them with the cards that don't do anything before you gumbo them.
Any changes?
To the extra deck, the only thing I would consider is possibly cutting this for Ningirsu, but again, the random situation comes up with, like, if they cherries ISO, you need this. But Ningirsu came up a few times where I kind of wished I had it so I could still out my opponent's board under my own mid-breaker field. But that was really just it.
And then last question, anything you would change in the main, or?
I don't think I would change anything. I mean, if there was a way that I could guarantee I would never open Bear Hug in my hand, that would be like the only way I would change it. Maybe cutting this to 2. Maybe cutting that to 2 might be something to look at, but other than that, I think it was pretty spot on.
Got you. Anything else you want to say? Any shout-outs?
Yeah, shout out to my boy John, shout out to Jared, shout out to my boy David Horde. He couldn't make it, he had to work. Shout out to everybody from Maryland. I can't name everybody because there's too many people from all the locals that are frequent to name everybody, but everybody who I'm cool with, you know who you are. I appreciate it. I will make a special shout out though. Shout out to Eric from Dream, Austin, and who else helps me with cards? Anybody from like Dream who just gives me cards. I appreciate that. Yeah, Dream Wizards in Maryland. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.